Hi, my name is Claude White, and we are literally hours away from the start of the NBA Finals, which the Toronto Raptors will be hosting the Golden State Warriors. They are looking for a three-peat, and it would be 4 championships out of the last 5 years. That has not been done since the Bill Russell Boston Celtics in the 60s. This is a great run that this team has been on. Obviously, Kevin Durant will not be playing in game one, but they are the still overwhelming favorites. And I'm going to break it down, as far as I'm concerned, from starting five, the bench, the coaches, and then I will give my prediction. Now, obviously, the point guards are for Toronto, Kyle Lowry, who's had a very good playoff run. Normally, Kyle Lowry is among the worst players as far as playoffs are concerned. He normally shrinks, but he has not done so for the most part this season, this playoff season. And on the other hand, of course, Steph Curry, we already know what he's about. Now, ironically, Steph Curry has never won a Finals MVP. Andre Iguodala and, of course, KD has won it last couple of times. And to be honest, he has been mediocre at best. And now, he's played very well in some games, but he always has at least one or two stinkers, like a 5 for 23, a 4 for 23. I mean, he'll do that every once in a while. And to be honest, when you take the amount of threes that he takes, that actually happens from time to time, no matter how great a scorer and a shooter that you are. But I have to give the edge to Golden State here. Lowry has played much better, but I can't pick him over Steph Curry. I just can't do it. Now, at the other guard position, that's obviously a huge mismatch because Danny Green, and if I were the Toronto head coach, Nick Nurse, I would bench Danny Green and have him come off the bench because you have to be able to match firepower with Golden State. You have to. You can't play 4-on-5 with this team. I understand KD is not there, but still Iguodala is going to give you at least 15. Okay? Now, that's a huge advantage for Golden State because Klay Thompson has been as magnificent as any player. Now, he does the dirty work, and he doesn't get the same volume of shots as Steph does, but he is just as potent from the outside. Now, Steph is a better creator, but I tell you what, Klay Thompson on the defensive end, I don't think that his defense gets enough credit because he's been magnificent on the defensive end. No question about it. Huge edge for Golden State. Now, the center position, it's almost non-existent. Andrew Bogut is only going to play maybe a handful of minutes. Now, Marc Gasol, at the beginning of the playoffs, he looked old and slow. He looked finished. He really did. But as the playoffs has moved along, he's played a lot better. Now, I don't know how much run Marc Gasol is going to have this particular finals, because it's going to be more predicated on matchups. You're going to see a lot of Serge Ibaka, no question about it, at the 5. Now, Siakam will obviously play the 3 or the 4 when they get small, but he's been outstanding for this team. Now, I'm going to give the edge to Marc Gasol and Toronto. Now, at the small forward position, this is the huge edge that Toronto has. Because despite Steph Curry, despite Klay Thompson, now KD was having a great run early before he got hurt, no question about it. But in my opinion, the best player on the planet right now is Kawhi Leonard. Now, I can make the case before he got hurt, he has been the best player in the NBA. He reminds me of when Dwayne Wade had that run with Shaq and they won the title. He's on that high level, and we hadn't seen play like that since Jordan. He's had 2 big shots. He's had the game winner, of course, to beat Philadelphia. I mean, he had a magnificent series against the Milwaukee Bucks. on the offensive and defensive end, and we could see he was clearly hurting. But great players aren't always great, but great when they have to be. And Kawhi Leonard has been more than that. He has been outstanding. He's been almost outer-worldly the way he's played. Huge edge to Kawhi Leonard in Toronto there. Now, the power forward is Siakam and Draymond Green. I have to give the edge to Draymond. He's been playing, in my opinion, his best basketball ever since they became a dynasty. I mean, he has turned a corner because he looked dreadful during the regular season. He looked at times almost lost and disinterested. But once the playoffs came around, he's revved it up. No question about it. Now, So I'm going to give 3 out of the 5 edges to Golden State. Now, the bench, I have to give that to Golden State as well because I like Livingston. Now, here's the problem. Now, Iguodala obviously is going to be a starter, at least until, I don't think KD's going to play myself. I think KD's played his last game there. And that somewhat weakens the bench. Now, if Nick Nurse does what I think he should do, I think Danny Green is going to be huge off the bench. Now, Danny Green's due. He's not going to stay like this forever. And I can't knock him if he decides to keep Danny Green in the starting lineup because you can always bring in Powell. Powell has been outstanding. But let's face it, Van Fleet has been huge. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give the edge to Toronto because Van Fleet and Powell right now are better, even though, you know what? Looney's been very good for Golden State, but they are still very unproven. I'm going to give the edge to Toronto there. Now, my prediction, now I understand that Golden State is the heavy favorites, and I don't dislike Golden State. Now, I can't root for them because of what they did to my man Mark Jackson, but that's another story. But that is not why I am making this pick. I'm making the pick, and I'm going to say Toronto in 7, and I'm going to tell you why. The dynasty for Golden State started when Kawhi Leonard got hurt, because remember, that was a huge 28-point lead that they had. And then dirty Zaza Pachulia rolled over Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he basically cut blocked him, and he cost the San Antonio Spurs probably another shot at the championship. Now, I hope the San Antonio Spurs don't win a damn thing for what they did to Mr. Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is the best player on the floor. And 9 times out of 10, the team with the best player on the floor wins these championships. Now, LeBron's teams have not done so because of the buzzsaw that's Golden State. And let's face it, as great as LeBron James is, LeBron will quit on you. There's no question about it. You can say what you want about him. He is a quitter. Period, point blank. This guy is not. This guy, and I tell you what, Knicks fans, if the Knicks are smart, I'd rather have Kawhi Leonard than KD any day of the week. And he is going to cement his legacy with this NBA Finals. I am going Toronto in 7, and the MVP of the series will be Kawhi Leonard. And those are my predictions. Please like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Claude White. Please take care, and God bless.